Peace and blessings, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get right into this story, which involves another police-involved fatal shooting of a black man, 46-year-old Keith Allen Edelin of Camden, New Jersey. This situation happened November the 3rd, early Sunday morning at 1:07 a.m. Now, I spoke with family members. They have reached out to me and they have informed me that news articles and news reports, news videos that were once online, once published by news outlets in the area, have since been removed from the internet. And the family has been told by law enforcement officers not to talk to anyone. The family informs me as well that the state medical examiner's office in Somers Point, New Jersey, has refused to release the body of their loved one. Now, the incident happened once again in the Westmont section of Camden, New Jersey. It is reported that Mr. Edelin was shot by an officer. He was transported to Cooper's Hospital, and it was there that he died or expired about an hour later. After he expired, his body was shipped down to the state medical examiner's office in Somers Point. And it was only that Monday, about 36 hours later, that the family was informed that their loved one was deceased, and they were given the whereabouts of his body. And the family, who has a funeral service in their family, a relative who owns a funeral home, went through the proper channels. They got the release form for their loved ones to be released today, or November the 6th. They sent that paperwork in. Everything was finalized, and the family member who owns the funeral home was told that they would be able to retrieve the loved one's body tomorrow on November the 7th. And then the family member who owns the funeral home informed other members of the family that he received a call and said that, "I'm sorry, my supervisor has told us that you are not able to receive the body as of yet." And that is also a red flag. We have to ask ourselves, why have they not released the body to this family? What made them change their minds? Also, the family informs me that law enforcement says they are not allowed to see the body cam footage from the incident. They were told that because the situation is still under investigation, they would not be allowed to see it. However, when the investigation is done, then the family member, the father of Mr. Edelin, would be able to go down and sit and watch the footage. However, the family member told me that they were told that it could be months before that would be able to happen. And so again, what would be happening to that footage within those months? The family suspects that the body is being withheld because the footage showed what really happened. And in my opinion, now they have to doctor the body and doctor the footage to make it seem plausible. The story that they're going to put out. Now, the circumstances around the encounter that led to Mr. Edelin's death remains murky. Now, after scrubbing the internet of all of the news articles from media outlets, the Attorney General's office of New Jersey, they put out a media release on their website. and I am also going to show you this narrative. Now, it is reported that the police responded to a reported burglary, and they're saying that when they responded, they encountered Mr. Edelin in the hallway, and he was brandishing a knife. And it was then that they said it was an altercation or an encounter in which the officer used his service weapon, and he struck Mr. Edelin. And then they say officers rendered medical aid, and he did arrive at Cooper University Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased 1 hour later. And then they're saying a knife was recovered at the scene. Now, you know from previous stories, they always frame the narrative as if someone threatened them. Now, speaking with a family member, they tell me that, you know, Mr. Edelin has had several years of contact with the police, as I have, and they never believe. Everybody knows when you're dealing with the police, you would never, you know, lunge at them or pull a knife on them. So I don't know what is this narrative that black men are just walking around wielding knives, waving guns at police, and putting themselves in that type of situation. And so the family member received a call from the lady who did call 911, and it was told that she informed the family, yes, I did call 911. However, I called 911 in response to a man banging on my door. And when he was banging on the door, he was already covered in blood. And so this leads me to believe that there was no burglary call. You know, there was some type of interaction, and then the police fired their weapon upon him, and then he probably tried to get away from them. But my question, my concern is the New Jersey or the Camden law enforcement officers telling the family that they are not allowed to talk to anyone because people will twist their words. And it's obvious that they are trying to cover this up. Once again, this happened Sunday, 1:07 a.m. Yet and still there is no national coverage. According to the family, there is no regional or local coverage. All of the information that they originally put out has been erased. Now, the family member did tell me that she had screenshots of the article, of the original articles that were placed online and in the public view. And so ask yourself, why would a law enforcement office, a media agency, retract any articles put out concerning an officer-involved shooting? That definitely is suspicious, if not outright corrupt or wrong. So what we're going to do later on tonight, now if you're seeing this video on if you're seeing this video on November the 7th, we're going to have one of the family members of Mr. Edelin, and they're going to come on and tell some more details about the situation, give their experience, but also, you know how we do. I am suggesting that everyone call the Camden Attorney General's office, and that contact number is 609-292-4925. Again, that number is 609-292-4925. And call in regards to the case of Mr. Keith Allen Edelin. That's Edelin. And let them know that the public is concerned about this situation. Because once again, the only thing we have to go on is their narrative that has been placed on their website. And this is the narrative again. Attorney General's office is investigating a fatal officer-involved shooting that occurred on Sunday, November 3rd, 2024, in the Westmont section of Haddon Township, Camden County. One adult male civilian deceased. The identity of the decedent and the officer involved are not being released at this time. According to the preliminary investigation, at approximately 1:07 a.m. today, members of the Haddon Township Police Department responded to a 911 regarding an attempted burglary in process at an apartment complex located on West Crystal Lake Avenue in Westmont. Shortly after arrival, officers encountered a male in the stairwell, armed with a knife. During an interaction in the stairwell, an officer fired his service weapon, striking the male. Officers rendered medical attention until emergency medical personnel arrived and transported the male to Cooper University Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased approximately 1 hour later. A knife was recovered at the scene. And so they go on to say that this will be investigated. A person's demise that occurred during an encounter with law enforcement officer acting in the officer's official capacity or while the decedent is in custody. It requires that all such investigators be presented to a grand jury to determine if the evidence supports the return of an indictment against the officers or the officers involved. However, without the body cam footage, with just the officer's word, we all know how these things sometimes turn out. Hopefully, this will not be the case in this manner. I can just automatically see what happened if he did have a knife, or if he had a knife in his pocket, or wherever the case may be. According to the family member, he was running from someone and was banging on the door because he was already injured. And so I can just see the officer seeing him possibly with the knife and just yelling, "Hey, drop the knife," and blah 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 blah, like they normally do. And so we're going to have the family member on later tonight at 8 p.m. so they can tell their side of the story, help get this story out, because once again, all of the articles have been scrubbed. Even the ones that were put up originally have been scrubbed and taken off of the media platforms and the internet. So hopefully you guys will help me get this story out. Share the video, like the video, and make sure that the public knows what is going on in Haddon Township, New Jersey. Once again, my number is 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.
From local stories to Wayne County news, get ready to dive into everything happening in North Carolina with Taylor House Publishing. Got a story to share? Shoot us an email at taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com. If you're looking to publish your book or need some top-notch mentorship, we've got your back. Join the excitement with the one and only Richard Taylor, right here at Taylor House Publishing. Speak with Richard directly at 919-587-7782. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and invite your family and friends to watch.
From Wayne County to the Carolina coast, Taylor House brings the news you love most. Tune in on YouTube, don't miss a beat. Local stories that keep you in your feet.
Taylor House, we got the scoop.